Superbug. Welcome back everyone to another NRG, back onto the Amstrad CPC with Pinball Power, or more commonly known as 3D Pinball. And this was released on all three of the popular British 8-bit systems. When I say British 8-bit systems, I obviously include the Commodore 64 on that. By Mastertronic, published by Mastertronic, conversion by Active Magic. Now I'm assuming it was converted from the Spectrum or the Commodore, and upon glancing on both versions, it would appear it's been converted unusually from the Commodore, because they're much more similar in appearance and look. It looks like a complete recode if it was done from the Spectrum. It really does. But this is an interesting little pinball game I've stumbled across here. Pinball games on the Amstrad are, there's not many of them. There's 9 or 10 of them, and a couple are pretty good. Advanced Pinball Simulator is okay. Then you've got Super Pinball Magic on the GX4000. The original Pinball Magic is okay too. The rest of them are pretty mediocre. Macadam Bumper is also okay as well. But this is slightly unique. You've got this full screen used here, and a 3D perspective of the pinball table, so much like you would look at it in real life, which is a nice little take on things. And you think, well, this is going to be tricky for the Amstrad to do, isn't it? No, it's not. It's really well done, this. The graphics are really, really good. They're excellently drawn here. And what's really more impressive about this are the ball physics. The ball physics are really good. They're really accurate and sharp. The movement of the ball is pretty true to life. But so is the scaling. Check out the scaling on the ball as it goes from the far to the table to the close towards the flippers. There's a real nice subtle scaling of the ball that you don't even notice at first. But it's excellently done, and I think a lot of time and effort has gone into code that. So I think this is a bit of an underrated gem, in my opinion. It would have been better if it had a few tunes. It is lacking any kind of music, which is a damn shame, because the sound effects that it has got are pretty good. And of course, there are things missing from it that it would benefit from. I think if this was remade today using the same basic code that was used back then, with a tilt function put in, and maybe some extra design of tables. I mean, there is no variance of tables, unfortunately. You only get one table, which is a pity. It's a good table. I mean, it's quite fun. You've got the ability to choose the bonuses at the top. You make the flippers move the bonuses at the top, which is kind of nice. You've got this bonus trap thing at the side, which is damn tricky to get into. It's pretty fair as far as pinball games go. I mean, the gap between the flippers is a little bit excessive, I'm guessing, but it's bearable. Lots of nice lights on the table as well. I mean, this ain't no Pinball Dreams, of course. I mean, with the upcoming Pinball Dreams remake on the Amstrad CPC, that's the kind of game that will blow this out of the water. But back in the day, if I'd have had this as a budget game, I would have been pretty happy with it, and it would certainly have killed a good 20 minutes to 30 minutes of time. And it's pretty addictive as well. You can go through credits pretty easy, and you can get sort of like I got stuck in a trap there. How did it get down that gap there? Yeah, you just want to. I want to try and get that bonus. I want to try and get that bonus. And no other pinball game apart from Pinball Dreams and Pinball Magic on the Amstrad has that for me personally. This one does. And I think it's all down to the fact that the animation is really smooth, really fluid, the graphics are pretty sharp. They're nothing spectacular, but they're really good for what they are. There's some great little subtle hints and shading going on. The perspective is really accurately drawn, and the scaling, for me, really does it. The scaling and the physics are really, really good. And it's something that is a trick with pinball games. If you get the scaling right, not so much the scaling, should I say. If you get the physics right, then generally the game will be pretty good. And you've got some really excellent turn of acceleration, the movement of the ball, the way it slows against bumpers. Little ripples effect there, see when it went through the bonus in the middle there? A little ripple of that was really nice. It's all lovely little subtle hints. The colour palette choice is pretty decent. I mean, lots of orange going on. That's another sort of hint that it sort of came from the Commodore conversion. Oh, can I get through there? Oh, no, just failed. Oh, and it fell through. But it's really addictive, and it's got a nice little digital scoreboard at the bottom there. Nice effects. I like this. I do like this. And like I said, 2 titles. 3D Pinball more commonly, but Pinball Power is its game title. I can't believe it went down that trap. That is unbelievable. But I say, if you added sort of like the tilt controls to this, the bump controls, Added that to it and a few extra tables, maybe even 3. You know, another 2 tables would have been absolutely serviceable, I think. You know, you could do a multi-load on it. It wouldn't have been a problem, I would have thought. It would have been a real, pretty of a red-hot pinball game back in the day. It's a decent effort. It's a decent effort. And also, I noticed as well on the title screen and the menu screen, even though the text is whizzing by at the top there really quickly, too quickly for you to actually read, it's actually using a split raster there. So you've got mode 1 at the top and mode O for the rest of the table. And really well implemented mode O as well. The colour changes for the lights are actually pretty subtle as well. Then that's another little effect I've just noticed, really good. And the responsiveness for the flippers is also excellent. So by and large, this is an excellent pinball game for the Amstrad CPC. One I think you should all check out. It's pretty good. Thanks for watching and cheers. Novabug out.